Hey, this is a treat. A dear old friend is in town doing her show here, and holy shit, what a treat. Ladies and gentlemen, you know her from her starring role in the hit Spielberg film Womb Envy. Will you welcome the never-before-seen set list of Margaret Cho?
Thank you so much. Thank you. I don't know how do we do that? How do we do it? How do you do it? Well, how do you do it? This is how you do it. You get all your friends together, and then, you know, everybody's different, so they've all got a different article of clothing, you know, in their bag, whatever. You just take little pieces off, mostly like accessories, and then you just kind of put them all on one guy, kind of like he's like a Christmas tree. So you just like adorn him with whatever. You have scarves, just a whole bunch of them, you know, maybe he's kind of like, you know, just collecting them all. He's like this kind of Buddhist like altar, like he's just collecting all of your alms, and you dress him up, and then you get him really, really super dressed up, and then you turn the lights on, and it's a big surprise because it's all like quilted together now. It's like a skirt, and like, you know, he's wearing so many things that it's just like a big dress that keeps giving to you, and that is the surprise party for a transvestite. Is that how you do it? It's like a game. It's a fucking horrible game. Comedians that I guess it's really, I mean, for me, let me tell you, this show gives me a lot of anxiety, and I only do it because I've been friends with Paul for like 27 years. And I said I would do this, and I'm doing it, but every time I think I fucking hate this shit. You know, because I want to control it. It's really hard for me to like control it when I have to be dictated by what you put up here, which you fucking evil fucks have decided. It's not that improvisational, because they have put it together. They've taken all your ideas and they put it together, and they kind of personalize it to fuck us up, like it's our own personal hell. So they give us these things that they think we should be brilliant at, but it's kind of like expectations as a child. You know, like when your parents put expectations on you? This is kind of like me in like school and not being good at math. And then my parents give me all this fucking fucked up, you know, Asian algebra problems that I'm supposed to understand and know why a train going to Beijing is going to arrive before another train crossing the Yellow River, and I can't fucking do math. That's what I feel like. So this is only because I love Paul and I love Troy, and you know, every time I get asked to do it, I try to think of, I improvise an excuse to get out. But today, I was not fast enough in improvising, and so now I'm fucking here. I'm waiting for the next bomb to drop. Go right ahead. With a racist morning affirmation. And sometimes you forget, like I forget what race I am because I'm not looking at myself from here. So I don't know to be racist. I'm looking out this way. So I forget. You know what I mean? It just slips my mind. You know, so every morning I gotta go, chink. Zipperhead. And then I remember, oh, people are fucking racist. That's right. And then I get out there and I'm angry. You know, and it's always hard to tell if Asian people are angry because they're kind of... It's unclear. You're not really sure. So that's why it's important to do your racist morning affirmations. Don't forget. We're real close to Asia, so there's people out here that really use all this. So case-sensitive safe word. Well, you know, because if like you're a top, you're always capitalized. Your name's always capitalized. You're a fucking top. I'm top, and I'm fucking M. You know, my first initial is M, and I always capitalize it in my mind. But if you're a bottom, then you're in like, you know, these little it's very English. You probably use the English spelling of color, like C-O-L-O-U-R, like E.E. Cummings. You know, you're kind of like Katie Lang, where you only have a little name, because you're just little and you're just submissive. And so, you know, and the thing about S&M is that if it goes too far, you could die. Like you could die with all caps D-I-E, fucking die. And so you have to be careful and use a safe word, and if you're a bottom, you have to make sure that it's case sensitive. So you don't want your caps to be locked. So you gotta like unlock and make the light not go on your keyboard and make sure that you are, saying a little safe word like, don't hurt me. Sometimes people want to say, don't hurt me, because that's part of the turn on. So maybe something totally unrelated, like chrysanthemum. Or sausage roll. This is my thing. I love Paul Hester. And I love... I fucking love Australian music, and let me tell you, the death of Paul Hester, every time I come to Melbourne, I fucking think about Paul Hester. And this is my problem. I talk about Paul Hester too much. I talk about Michael Hutchence way too much. Because there was a time in Australia when, there was a moment in Australia where everything was fucking hot. Like, you remember, I don't know if you were old enough to know this, but Australia was once fierce. And it was this moment when it was like, such an incredible moment. Like it was like before Mel Gibson was a homophobe. Remember that, when he was fucking Mad Max and he was like hot, like he was like a hot all capitalized top. And all right, I think that's pretty good that I fucking made up a callback from some fucked up thing that I just made up. I'm sorry that I'm like, I know I'm presenting my anger here, like I'm totally like not, I don't need to be angry about this because it doesn't have to last that long, obviously. And I don't need to be like, come up here with all this pride. I don't know why I have all this pride. First of all, I have a bit of it because I'm menstruating. So, and I'm actually bleeding, and I have about maybe 2 or 3 minutes left on this particular American tampon that I brought all the way from California. And I don't know what the Australian menses process is like. Is it like a fucking kangaroo pouch? Do you just bleed into something? I don't know. Do you bleed into a didgeridoo? What do I fucking do at this point? I don't know. But I'm up here, and I'm thinking about all my Australian heroes who have died. They're not really sure if it's suicide or autoerotic asphyxiation. Well, my feeling is that these guys are my heroes. Like, I love Paul Hester, I love Crowded House. I love, he was in Split Ends for a moment when they broke up, and they came to Australia. They were going to be Crowded House after that, and I know him. I know Neil then very well. So these guys are my friends, and he's dead, and I don't want to think of him as a suicide. I don't want to think of an Australian hero of mine like Michael Hutchence as being a suicide. So I think of them as my autoerotic asphyxiation coaches. They are there to lift me up. They're there to show me how it's fucking done. Thank you very much.
I love how Margaret spent 10 minutes talking about how she sucked at this and then fucking made everything hilarious. That is so set this show. Margaret Cho, ladies and gentlemen. Margaret Cho, who frankly does not need this shit. I wish you had told us you were menstruating. We would have put the newspaper down. Nothing misogynist about that. Trying to be extra nice.